Hello guys. I always complain about animated movies throughout my history of channels. My history of this channel, I've always complained how I don't like animated movies. It's simply because I'm not the audience for animated movies, so I started don't really review them that much because I'm not the audience for them anymore. I used to be, but I'm not really anymore. The audience, part of the audience for kids movies. The reason why The Incredibles 2 did so well was probably because Pixar fanboys and Disney fanboys decided to go see the movie. And the same people who watched the same kids movies over and over and over again, people made a big deal about The Incredibles 2 despite it being a boring and pretentious sequel to a movie that wasn't that great to begin with. Or Ralph Breaks the Internet being a mediocre sequel to a actually decent to good movie. Hotel Transylvania 3, most of these kids movies in this first row are mostly mediocre movies. Besides the Spider-Man movie and Teen Titans Go to movie was terrible. All these besides Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse were all mediocre movies. And Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, I just didn't like it because it wasn't for me. Animated movies are just not for me. But the reason why I'm bored to it, but I'll be telling you why kids love animation movies so much. Kids are drawn to movies of bright colors and of course, kids are not really can't really understand stories like Infinity War, the Force Awakens, Mega Move, PG-13 movies. Kids can't understand those movies as well as we can. Kids see, oh, cool light effects, cool colors, I want to see that. We, more older people, analyze movies as they are. We don't say, oh, bright colors, cool animation, fast effects, 10 out of 10. That's how kids view movies. And that's why kid movies do so well. And that's why lots of people watch them. And of course, the same people who watched The Lion King and all those movies during the 90s in the theaters will come and return to watch movies like this in the theaters with the kids. But if you look at the official box office flop website, only 3 kids movies flops this year. Sergeant Stubby and American Hero. I'm talking about kids movies in terms of animated movies. Early Man and Sherlock Gnomes. Why Sergeant Stubby American Hero flopped? It was because it wasn't advertised that much. No one really wanted to see it because there wasn't any advertising ads for it. Early Man, simple. Stop motion movies never do well in the box office. Stop motion movies are basically box office poison at this moment. Isle of Dogs did well because it appealed towards people who like the Fantastic Mr. Fox movie. But Early Man flopped because the characters look ugly, the premise is stupid, and it runs against Black Panther. And you're telling me it was going to do well. But Sherlock Gnomes, there's always that one kids movie out of the world that sometimes there's flops. Sherlock Gnomes was probably not meant to flop considering it's a kids movies and kids are attracted to this movie. But they did spoil the best jokes in the trailer. That's probably why the movie flopped for kids. That's why crappy movies like Smallfoot, The Grinch, Hotel Transylvania 3 still sold well despite being bad movies. Smallfoot had really ugly looking characters like Early Man, but had really no competition in terms of other kids movies. The Grinch was a Christmas themed movie despite being mediocre at best, but a lot of kids just wanted to see it because number 1 was made by Illumination, and number 2, Illumination makes simple movies that are just for kids. Hotel Transylvania 3, same thing, bright colors, it's cute and it's stuff like that. Kids like the first 2 Hotel Transylvania movies, so they could come back and see the third. Same thing with these 2 movies as well. And movies like Christopher Robin and other movies like that. The reason why animated movies, mostly theatrical releases, sell so well is because kids want to see them. That's why if A Wrinkle in Time and A Nutcracker in the Four Realms are animated movies, they will probably sold 2 times as much because they're animated movies. Kids are not attracted to movies like A Wrinkle in Time or The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. Kids don't want to see that. Which of course is obvious in the box office results. These animated movies also have to compete with Marvel movies as well because kids will want to see that as well as the big things going around, and Star Wars movies as another big thing, and DC movies as well. And other live action animated live action movies that are pretty popular among kids. Now you know why, very, very little. But before we go, let's talk about why stop motion movies are such box office poison. Number one, stop motion movies don't have... Most of these kids' movies have very simple and easy to understand and easy to digest stories besides Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. Early Man has a very easy to understand story, but Isle of Dogs is a more complex story than the other ones. And Kubo is another example of a kids movie that flopped, a movie for kids that flopped. It had a complex story. It was more complex. The only complex stories that sell well are by Disney, but people will buy them because of Disney's logo alone being on them. And people, of course, they call Disney is the animated movies that they release. And sometimes Disney movies could be complex, but most of these stop motion movies are more complex than even Disney movies, like Kubo and the Two Strings and several other movies. That's why they're loved, but they don't sell well. Because the audience is just not there. And that's why kids' movies, and more specifically animated movies, do so well at the box office. Goodbye.